Good morning and welcome to the Al Amarat Cricket Ground in Muscat, Oman. This is Game 9 of the Oman Pentangular Series. Andrew Leonard here this morning. It's a beautiful day again, quite humid and hot. And we've got the table because it's Hong Kong against the Netherlands. Both sides winless so far this week. And both sides having their troubles in the T20 World Cup qualifier. But they'll be looking to put that right today by getting a win. Hong Kong won the toss earlier this morning. Decided that they're going to have a bowl first. They'll open with spin. No surprise to see that. This youthful Hong Kong side led by their new head coach Trent Johnson. Tobias Vissay is at the crease alongside Maxwell O'Dowd. Is Kincha Cha, the Hong Kong captain. I've got Jamil Zaidi to my right here. And Andrew Leonard, I'll be with you all day here with Cricket Clubs Live. Guides to put right what's really been going wrong for them so far.
Yes, well, first of all, good morning to all the viewers. With a very sunny, warm and bright morning here at Oman Cricket Academy ground in Al Amarat ground. Yes, you're absolutely right. Both the teams are on the bottom of the table and they will try to at least get some consolation win today. To be not the last one.
It's a humid morning as well, isn't it?
Yes,
I can't emphasize that enough. I've only been here 3 days, but certainly the warmest morning we've had so far. So perfect preparation for these two sides. Big appeal. They're looking for the stumping, and we're going to go up to the third umpire. So no surprise to see these new facilities being used today. The standing umpires today, they are Vinod Babu and Hari Krishna. So it means the third umpire, Lasher, is going to have work to do. It was a sharp take behind the stumps by Scott McKechnie, who has the gloves on today, one of two keepers in this Hong Kong squad. But the 28-year-old McKechnie has the gloves instead of young Arish Bhagwat today. And we're going to have to wait for this decision. So Arish Bhagwat is in the starting 11, but he's in the field today. But really good work, a really good start this as well from...
Yeah, as far as the Hong Kong is concerned, yes, absolutely. This is the first over and they got a good chance to get a wicket. The decision refers to the third umpire, Rahul Asher. We'll have to wait for the umpire's decision.
Yeah, so there are 4 fixed cameras square of the wicket here on both the off and leg side. And they give the perfect view for the third umpire. He's in the box, he's in the hot seat right now. I'm going to show you the replay, but it's been given not out. So a good decision from the third umpire. You can see on our cameras here, which aren't the fixed cameras, beat him on the offside and a big appeal, but clearly Tobias Vissay's back foot never lifting. So Vissay gets a life. But what a start this is from Hong Kong. Really good tight stuff from Kincha Cha. A maiden to start with. You don't see too many of those in T20 international cricket. None for none after the first over.
Absolutely perfect bowling start from Hong Kong. Kincha Cha is a good spinner and he always try to get a wicket in his first spell. And today started very well with the edging length and line, just attacking the stumps and not letting the batsman to play the shots. Good over from him. Maiden one.
Yeah, really good start. So let's take a quick look at the two playing 11s. We'll see if we can bring those up on your screen. First of all, that's the Dutch side. Remember, Ben Cooper is out with an injury. He's not going to be back until the T20 World Cup qualifier. Ryan Tendashade not here yet. He will arrive into the Emirates, taking a break. The two other players to miss out today for the Netherlands, young Philippe Boissevin and Paul van Meeker in the big, tall, flying Dutchman. Speaking of quick bowlers, we've got a quick bowler here in the shape of Kyle Christie for Hong Kong. He's been quite impressive this week.
Yeah, of course. He bowled very well throughout the tournament, but unfortunately couldn't get much wickets, though he deserved. He bowled with an edging length and line.
He's bowled with good pace. He's made his T20I debut this week. This Hong Kong squad and side that are going to the T20 World Cup qualifier, a really young and youthful one. Remember, 5 of their stalwarts are not here. Time where Afzal was left out, and That caused a little bit of a player revolt. Babar Hayat, Isan Nawaz and Tanvir Ahmed all not coming, and then that coupled with the sad news of the international retirement of Ansa Munrath has really left this Hong Kong side very inexperienced at international level. Their new captain, Kinchit Shah, has taken over from Ansa Munrath. Still no runs yet for the Netherlands. Good tight stuff this from Hong Kong. And the reason Ansa Munrath isn't here is he's decided to pitch his lot in with Indian domestic cricket, and we may well see him at the IPL in the coming years.
So I think it's very bad as far as the Hong Kong is concerned. Half of the team has stepped out back into the country, and it's purely a young side, doesn't have much experience in international cricket. A few of them, like Babar Hayat is there. Who's the guy? Yes. Barkat is there, he's the old one. Izakat is there.
Almost half a chance for Kyle Christie.
Brilliant.
Maxwell O'Dowd, who's been the man in form for the Netherlands over 2019 at the top of the order. He's made 474 runs in T20 international cricket, the second leading run scorer in the world of T20 internationals. Obviously, a lot of the full member nations play a huge amount of ODI cricket this year, with it being a Cricket World Cup year. So leading the charts there is Kevin O'Brien, who's been in fine form for the Irish at the top of the order. But Maxwell O'Dowd in second. And there's the first runs of the day. What a shot that is. A glorious off drive. It beats the man at mid-off. And as soon as it pierces the infield here, it's always going to be 4 runs.
Yes, Honda beautifully stuck straight off to the mid-off boundary by Maxwell. He's a very good attacking batsman. And
yeah, here's the replay on your screens. Just a little bit of use of the feet, and it was powerfully struck, and the noise off the bat was glorious.
But that's right in the middle of the bat. Tuck, has done you coming.
Good comeback from Kyle Christie. He's got up a good head of steam this morning already. 26 years of age, made his T20I debut for Hong Kong this week. Looks like a good find for this Hong Kong side.
I think they'll have to work hard, since most of their experienced players are out from the team, and it will take little time for all the newcomers to, come up with the international cricket pressure.
Going to be more runs here, coming a little bit off the outside edge, and plenty of time for Max O'Dowd to get back for 2. A good tight stuff from Christie, just 6 runs from that over, so the Hong Kong head coach Trent Johnson will be pleased with his side start. Let's take a look at his starting 11 today. 4 players missing out from his 15-man squad. The 4 on the bench today are Nazrullah Rana, Hassan Abbasi, Aizaz Khan and Wakas Khan. Plenty of Khans in Hong Kong, but their new captain Kinchit Shah, and a few players to watch here. Mohammad Gazamfar, the young leg spinner, he's a good name to watch. And we'll also see, as you said, Wakas Barkat, all his experience. We see aggression from Visay. 7 dot balls, pressure building on him. He's known as a big hitter, yet to get off the mark this morning.
Lovely bowling from the Kinchit Shah, from the
driven down the ground, and it not only beats the bowler, but it also beats the mid-off fielder as well. That's Shahid Wasif in the ring, and that's going to be a boundary 4 to get Visay's account underway. What a glorious shot that is.
Yes, absolutely. Just halfway off, just took the over-pitch delivery to the mid-off boundary, 4 runs to him. Excellent shot.
Yeah, just no more than a punch really from Visay, but super timing. Mid-off quite wide, so there is a gap that he found. Looks for the sweep this time. Straight to the man at short fine leg, so no run there. Yeah, this Hong Kong side's certainly new to international cricket. Outside of Nizakat Khan and Kinchit Shah, and perhaps Wakas Barkat as well, nobody else has played more than single-figure international matches, so no surprise perhaps to see them struggling this week. 3 defeats. They went down to Oman by 7 wickets as Visay looks to take the aerial route. It's not going to have enough power to go all the way, but they'll get back for 2. So a 7-wicket defeat to Oman, a 4-wicket defeat to Nepal, and a real hammering by Ireland and Kevin O'Brien. Trent Johnson would have been happy with that.
Yeah, of course. I think that's the best inning seen so far in this tournament from Kevin O'Brien. It was awesome, swashbuckling. I mean, Chris Gale innings he played, absolutely.
Good power from Visay, almost half a chance back to Kinchach's right hand. But just starting to get ticking, and he'll keep the strike, counting his balls cleverly. At the end of the third over, the Netherlands move to 13 for none.
Yeah, I think they had to be. Netherlands also need to have a good victory so that their morale should be up before going for the qualifier in Dubai.
Yeah, Ryan Campbell was saying he felt his side's confidence was low. We might be having a chat to him later on this afternoon, which will be good to hear from. But the points table is there on your screens. Oman it is, who are in an almost unassailable position. Nepal will be looking to dethrone them later on this afternoon in the grandstand finish to this Oman Pentangular Series. But at the moment, it's the battle for the wooden spoon.
Yeah.
Because both sides winless.
And the top of the table in the evening.
The perfect finish to this Oman Pentangular T20I Series. Been delighted to bring you every ball here with Crick Clubs. Good pace.
Beautiful delivery.
From Kyle Mullins, the short ball beats Visay outside the off stump. Yeah, both sides will be looking to take a win and get some confidence going into the T20 World Cup
They
qualifier.
need it, I think, Andrew. They must need it. Anybody who is playing any tournament should have at least one victory to their credit to make them at a bit confidence in the next very, very important qualifier of T20 in UAE.
That's glorious from Tobias Visay. He's played quite a bit of franchise cricket, particularly the GT20 Canada this summer, and he's just starting to show why he is a man in demand in these leagues. He's a power hitter at the top of the order, and that's what you want in 2020.
Yeah, of course. This international T20 tournament happening all over the world is giving chances to all the batsmen like him to get maximum out of their batting prowess.
Looks for the slog sweep, the ramp, and he gets that away. Fine leg is up in the circle. Just two fielders allowed outside the circle. Really good use of the pace and good bravery from Tobias Visay. Four more back-to-back boundaries.
Yes, lovely shot from him. It looks to be more confident now. And Andrew, the wicket from last 5 overs, looking absolutely perfect. The ball coming up very nicely onto the bat.
Yeah, there's the replay. He simply stepped outside his off stump, got down on one knee. It wasn't really the authentic Dilshan or Ryan Campbell scoop. It was more of a paddle sweep. But as soon as you beat the infield here, it's going to be 4 all the way. It's a new pitch today. We've moved a couple to the left on your screen as you see it currently. Slower ball from Christie. Just worked into the leg side. No run there. And really the pitches have been very good. There was a little bit of turn yesterday, but this morning the ball carrying through nicely.
The way the first ball has come up, it's coming very nicely onto the bat. And the way he sweeps that delivery, it looks that the wicket is quite lovely for the batting. Otherwise, you don't play sweeps in the very early stages of the game.
Gives himself room outside the leg stump and cuts that away aerially. Really impressive batting from Tobias Visay. The third boundary of the over. Pressure on Christie. Good use of the pace and good use of angles.
Yeah, it was shot outside the off stump, up, and he very nicely placed it over the point boundary for 4.
Just bringing the replay on your screen, and he just stepped outside his leg stump, and this is why Visay is so difficult to bowl to. He's just played a paddle sweep, ramped him for 4, and this time he goes down the ground. That's going to soar into...
Opening stand from both these guys, Tobias and Kayla. Lovely ball. Placement. No one in the third boundary, and it's nicely got a cuttle on it and get it boundary for him. 4 runs. Lovely.
Hit into the offside. That's going to be the first wicket. A brilliant catch. Really well taken by Rag Kapoor. He had to stretch up above his head to the left on his tippy toes. Took the catch very well. It's not where Maxwell O'Dowd intended to hit the ball. He's disgusted with himself, and he's got to go for 10.
Well, it was a pre-planned shot. He wanted to put it over the head of the fielder, but it's a lovely, brilliantly taken by the fielder, Rag Kapoor at the cover point bar. Lovely catch, and finally Hong Kong has got the wicket they are looking for. 35 for 1. Number 5 over is on.
Yeah, really good bowling from Kinshit Shah. He deserved that wicket. He'd found the outside edge of Max O'Dowd, the ball before, and you can see the reaction from Maxwell Dowd, disgusted. But it was an outstanding catch from Rag Kapoor that easily could have burst through his hands. It was almost reminiscent, really, of yesterday, that dropped catch off Paul Sterling. And that kind of changed the game, really.
Yeah, it was.
So the new man to the crease at number 3. A change in the batting order from yesterday for the Netherlands. Roelof van der Merwe is going to come in. He'll be at 3. Tony Staal was at number 3 yesterday. We'll see him down the order. But a good flying start from the Netherlands. They'll be pleased despite the loss of Maxwell O'Dowd.
Mark was the most experienced of the Netherlands players we have, and a lot of expectation from him. But in this tournament, I think he's not come up to the expectations, as he's been one of the best players Netherlands has got on his side.
Yeah, Roelof van der Merwe is certainly an out-and-out all-rounder. Really busy cricketer. You can see immediately straight into his work.
Good start for Mav. Confident shot between the vacant mid-wicket and mid-on region. Got 2 runs on the very first ball. Catch it. On to the back foot, played it out towards cover point. No run. Kinshit Shah, right arm.
Good running from his pairing, good communication. And Van der Merwe going to keep this. In fact, there's 1 ball to go, so he'll bring Visay on to strike. But Van der Merwe is such a talented cricketer. He's been so effective since his move up to Europe and the ex-South African international. Now playing for the Netherlands and applying his county trade in Somerset. We'll see his left arm spin later on. Looks for the sweep shot again. Visay can't beat the man in the ring. So at the end of 5 overs, the Netherlands are 39 for 1.
Yeah, absolutely. Marv is one of the best players Netherlands has got. He is internationally famed for his all-round abilities, a brilliant fielder, a very useful left-arm slow bowler, and a useful batsman as well. As I said earlier, this tournament is not done much among the runs, but he bowled extremely well in all the last 3-4 outings he has done for Netherlands. But today's match between Oman and Nepal in the afternoon will be the crunch match. Both the teams vying for the top honors. So though the run rate at the moment is in favor of Oman, but definitely a very good clash in place in the afternoon.
So a change in bowling here for Hong Kong. Carl Christie will come out of the attack and Haroon Arshad will come in. So one right arm seamer replaces another. A little bit unlucky Carl Christie in that second over, but Tobias Visay took a real liking to him. Just had those graphics corrected at the bottom of your screen because the scorers had the score originally as 39 for 1. It is in fact 38 for 1. So that ball thuds into the pad of Tobias Visay.
Yesterday we too have a problem in the count of the balls. 7 overs has been called out by both the umpires yesterday.
Yeah, we had a 7-ball over yesterday. Perhaps the heat and the extreme conditions getting not just to the players but the umpires a little bit as well.
But they are used to it. They're the local guys who are doing umpiring in this tournament. Anyhow, it's all human error, you cannot say anything. Sometimes it happens.
Slower ball that's hit down the ground. Has Tobias Visay got enough of that to go over the head of the mid-off fielder? He has. It's not going to go all the way to the rope. Really good fielding means that they'll restrict it to just 2. Visay not afraid to use the aerial route, but he wasn't in control of that.
Yeah, it was a slow run bowled by Haroon. and he was expecting it a full length delivery, but played it out high over the mid-off boundary. 2 runs to him.
Cut away
Lovely
powerfully. That's going to be 4 runs. Does take the aerial route again, but this time in much greater control. It was the quicker delivery this time from Arshad, but powerfully struck by Visay. He moves into the 30s.
Slightly onto the back foot, cracks it over the heads of cover. Beautiful shot. He looks to be in a very good touch this morning, and hope that he will continue to score his shots during the next couple of overs as well, to bring Netherlands at least to a respectable total.
Yeah, and that shot has brought about a change in the field, because third man is going to come up into the circle. Long on is going to go back. That's Nizakat Khan in front of our commentary position. So the 2 fielders in the deep mid-wicket and long on. Looks for the ramp shot again, and he does get it away. That's outstanding batting from Tobias Visay. This is why he's such a dangerous player. He has the power game to go straight down the ground, and as soon as he does that and they bring the field up, he'll ramp you over his head. Back-to-back boundaries.
Absolutely. He's in full confidence now, playing all his shots in his back, especially sweeps. This is also a very good scoop sweep over the fine leg boundary. 4 runs to him. He looks to be in great touch this morning. 49.
So why pace is really a double-edged sword in T20 cricket. You can see Haroon Arshad getting it down at a good clip, but a good change of pace that time. He's got good variations, and that one is just punched into the covers for a dot.
Yes, I think that's 49 for 1. 35 out of 49 goes to Tobias. Lovely batting.
Another change of pace. This time just clipped off his legs for a single. So that's going to bring the 50 up. In exactly 6 overs. That's going to be the end of the power play for Hong Kong. They get out of it without too much damage on what looks like a very good batting track. 50 for 1. And for the moment, I'll bid a short farewell to Jamil Zaidi, and I'll be joined by our first guest commentator of the day. I'm delighted to say it's a man that I know too well from a previous life. The former Irish international and now current Hong Kong head coach, Trent Johnson. Morning, TJ. How are you going?
How are you? You well?
Yeah, not going bad, mate. How is the new role? How are you settling in?
Yeah, I was only been there 5 weeks, so it's been a bit sort of get your feet under the desk and get going pretty much straight away. But no, the boys have been very receptive to what I've sort of brought to the table. Obviously, haven't thrown too much at them too early, but they've worked pretty hard. There's obviously been a few things go on in the lead up to us getting over here, but the 15 we have here are certainly learning and certainly improving over the past 3 games. They haven't played cricket since April, so it's great to have them out here in the lead up to the qualifiers.
It's their first internationals of any kind since the disappointment of World Cricket League 2, where Hong Kong missed out on ODI status in what was one of the most contextual cricket tournaments of all time. You either progressed up to 36 ODIs over 2.5 years, or you ended up missing out and coming down into the Challenge League, which is what's happened to Hong Kong, as we've seen a change in bowling with Mohammad Ghazanfar's leg breaks coming into the attack. Is that something you were concerned about coming into the role, the lack of cricket opportunities, or the new structures with the Challenge League and the T20s, two World Cups in 2 years is going to be enough for Hong Kong?
Yeah, I think so. And then you've got to factor in that we are part of the Asian Cricket Council, and the amount of cricket that we play there will probably compensate a little bit for that. But you obviously want to be playing the best, and that would be with ODI status. But we don't have that, so we've got to journey back to wrestle that back and regain our ODI status, which is one of my remits as coach over the next few years. But it's very important here. We can qualify for a World Cup and head back to Australia in November, which is what a place to go.
And that's the real, I suppose, the carrot that is not only motivating you, but also motivating the entire Hong Kong setup and the Hong Kong team.
Wouldn't be the first time that Hong Kong have gone to a T20 World Cup. They've got quite a decent pedigree, of course. As we just see overthrows coming through, Trent Johnson shaking his head beside me. There was always a single there, but the man on long on who'll be getting a black mark in Trent Johnson's notebook, that's Nizakat Khan, who wasn't quickly off the fence at long on. But the T20 format is something that seems to suit Hong Kong.
It does. Obviously, you're talking about in qualifying for the 2014-16 World Cups, the team's, dramatically different from those two teams that ventured to those particular tournaments. A lot of younger guys in this group. In Hong Kong setup that people probably don't know, there's 5 Premier League clubs over there, and that's the quality of player you've got to choose from. There's a lot of people, expats over there working that, obviously cricket's probably their second vocation in life.
They say down the track, almost gets through, just skews off the inside edge for a single. Some of the facilities, is that a challenge? Not a huge amount of turf wickets there in Hong Kong?
Yeah, it is a challenge. It's certainly a challenge. We've got a national ground that we train at, but we have access to it 2 days a week. You've got a couple of 2 or 3 indoor schools that we can use. So it's quite difficult to get facilities, and that's the main thing. But I can't question the guys' work ethic. It's been very good. The sessions we get are quite long. They're certainly putting effort in throughout that whole period of time to get something out of that particular session. So.
Just a slight break in play, Trent, for something you don't see too often in an international. We've had 4 or 5 of the ground staff come scurrying on to remark the lines. So I just wonder, were the umpires a bit concerned about a front foot no ball? We've only seen 1 or 2 in the whole tournament. Something a head coach always hates is a no ball.
Yeah, I think that it's obviously a used wicket, so they've repatched the bowler's footmarks, and I think they've probably just broken up and taken the paint with it. So it's obviously quite smart. We've actually, I'll give us the kiss of death here, but we haven't bowled a front foot no ball in 3 games, so that's something to celebrate. Listen, the guys are working very hard and trying hard, and we've come out of here with a lot of positives. Like I said to you early on, we don't have a lot of numbers in the win column, but we've certainly got some improvement throughout games, which is all I can ask as a coach.
And something like this series in Oman, surely the perfect preparation for what's going to be a really competitive tournament. I'd say all 14 of those sides in the UAE are not just going to be able to look and go and win some games, but all 14 have realistic ambitions of qualifying.
Yeah, absolutely. You can only have a look there where you've got Nigeria beating Kenya over the last couple of days.
And the new bowler is greeted with a full toss, and that's dispatched over the offside by Tobias Fasay, who's just starting to look threatening. He moves into the 40s. The leg breaks of that Nizakat Khan, who's bowling his leg spin, so back-to-back leg spinners being bowled. Seeing the replay there, hammered away over the offside by Tobias Fasay. Yeah, the group you guys have for the T20 World Cup qualifiers, you'll be coming up against a side you know so well in the shape of Ireland.
Yeah, that was
just going to be hit down the ground for a single.
Yeah, that was interesting the other day. It's great to catch up with the guys in the hotel beforehand and have a bit of a chat to a few of the guys. But they're looking very good. They're playing some pretty good cricket coming into here, and I think we learned a pretty big lesson as a squad that you can't drop probably the best batsman in the tournament on 30, and then you'll go on and put another 94 on you. So we learn a lot there. But you have a look at the way that we finished the back end of our batting innings. It was very positive, and we ended up with 150 runs. It was you got to take those positives out, and then you've just got to sit back and enjoy and watch a quality player at work.
Yeah, Trent Johnson talking about Kevin O'Brien's innings of 124, the solitary century this week. He's in fact the leading run scorer in T20 International 2019. Punched into the leg side for a couple. The fielding we've seen this week, I've only got in for yesterday's match, is really impressive, and an outstanding catch there. Is that something you're drilling the guys hard on?
Yeah, we're doing a lot of work on our fielding. I think we go back to sort of our old coach in 80 Birrell. We probably weren't as skillful with the bat and ball, but we certainly could be the fittest and the best fielding teams. So we've done a lot of work. It's certainly a work in progress. We dropped a couple of catches against Ireland, which cost us. But Raj Kapoor took a good catch there, going back over his head to get our first wicket. So I think it's just getting to know each other, and just continue that improvement. I think that's all I can ask. catch.
Looks for the slog sweep, and you can hear the shout of Trent Johnson in the background looking for the catch, but the top edge loops over the keeper. Misfortune for Hong Kong. Going to be another boundary for Tobias Fisset. He moves to just 2 short of his 50. When I was looking through your squad in advance of today, Trent, the number of internationals, let alone T20 internationals, that any of these guys have played really low. You talk about some of the quality of player that you don't have here. Ansem Rath has gone off to new pastures. He's going to look to qualify as a domestic player in the IPL, and then missing the likes of someone like a Babar Hayat, who would probably get into any associate team. As this one's hit down the ground, it could be a chance towards long on, but it's going to fall directly in between long on and long off. Direct hit is going to be close as well, and we will go up to the third umpire.
Another 5 minutes delay, Lenny.
So just as it seems to always happen when we get a guest into the box, it's literally all happening. It came right off the toe end of the bat. If he gets home, it will get Tobias Fisset to 50. But you can see the replay on your screen here. We're going to bring you now. It just landed in between the two fielders at long off and long on. It was really well picked up in the deep. I think that was Arush Bhagwat who picked it up and affected the direct hit. And the reason we have the delay in play now is the umpires are communicating with the third umpire. That is Raul Asher, who's currently looking at the fixed camera footage on the sidelines and seeing whether or not that run out was out. And you can hear from the cheers from the Netherlands to the side that he is safely home. And that's going to be 50 for Tobias Fisset, coming from 35 deliveries. A really good knock. He has flattered to deceive over recent weeks for the Netherlands, but starting to show now today why he is such a hot prospect in the T20 world. You can see his stats on your screen there. 8 fours and 1 6. And Roelof van der Merwe just supporting him really well, dropping the quick single and running. You look at the structure of the qualifier, Trent, that you have coming up. I'm speaking here with Trent Johnson, the Hong Kong head coach, who's been very kind to join us during the middle of this T20 International. But you look at that structure, do you think that it's realistic you could look to get into the playoffs? You'll be looking for a top 4 finish from that group of 7?
Yeah, well, hopefully, yeah, absolutely. We're going to have to play some good cricket, and I think all I can ask is the guys continue to improve.
Tobias Fisset punishing again outside the offside, slightly overpitched by Gazanfer and hit away for a boundary 4.
Yeah, so it's about our gradual improvement throughout that tournament. We've got the 3 teams that are ranked ahead of us in games 1, 2 and 3. So if we can sneak 1 or 2 wins in that, it sort of sets us up for the back end of the tournament. And then we have the 3 teams that are ranked below us finishing off our group stage. So, if we play competitively...
Sweep shot just finds the man in the ring. Is that something you feel is going to be an advantage, almost playing the more difficult sides first up? It's going to be a challenge without doubt.
Yeah, I think so. I think our biggest challenge has been able to play smart cricket. I think we've got the capabilities and the skill level to compete with these nations, but it's whether we use what's between our ears. That's the big problem.
The fabled 6 inches in between the head. The tournament's one that you know well. You not only played in it, but you performed exceptionally in it. I think you took the title at least twice, if not 3 times, with Ireland.
Yeah, it's great. It's a great format. It's a great place to play cricket in Dubai. And, the main stadium there is you just get a buzz walking out into those facilities and sort of going out and playing for your country. So, it's a huge honour. And, we've had some great success there, or Ireland's had some great success there. So,
hit down the ground.
A big open ground, so statistically, if you have a look, there's not too many boundaries hit there, or there's probably 18 to 20 boundaries a game. So there's more sort of running in that area. And
speaking of boundaries, Trent, that one is absolutely hammered over the leg side. One of the biggest 6s I've seen this week. Roelof van der Merwe showing why he's such a dangerous player. Just a little bit too full from Mohamed Gazanfer, and the slog sweep comes out from Roelof van der Merwe, dispatched over the fence. The Netherlands really struggled with their batting yesterday. They lost 8 wickets for 22 runs in a 33-ball decimation, but trying to make up for it, perhaps a few harsh words from Ryan Campbell overnight. Ryan Campbell, of course, the former Hong Kong coach. There's all sorts of dynamics going on today. what is it you'll be looking to take from this week? As you said, not a huge number of wins, but plenty of progression in the fielding and maybe a few other areas.
Yeah, I think so. I think the first few games, in the power plays, we took wickets early. We took 3 wickets in both of the first 2 games. We could have done the same against Ireland if we held our catches. Partnerships. I think our batting partnerships have been averaging somewhere around sort of 15. That's not good enough in T20 cricket. We need to advance that to 50 plus. Taking our opportunities in the field. So, wanting the ball, taking those catches, those half chances that, quality batsmen present you. You've got to be able to take them. And I think probably the major thing for me is just playing smart cricket, getting yourself, being aware of what the game actually needs from you at that particular time, whether, if you're looking to rotate strike to give the in batsman, more strike, or do you have to close out an over, or, little things like that we've spoken about quite a fair bit over the last 5 weeks is just playing smart cricket and just continually reinforcing that with the guys. I haven't thrown a lot of sort of KPIs or anything like that. They obviously have their targets they want to hit in the 3 areas that we classify sort of power play, middle overs and the finish. And we sort of, talk about that before and reflect on those after the game. So as we have a change of bowler here with Ehsan Khan coming into the attack there.
Yeah, and he's someone who's had a good week. He's taken his T20I career best, 3 for 32 against Ireland. He's one of the more experienced operators in the squad. I think he's the oldest member of your squad now at the age of 34. He'll bowl his off breaks, and he's proved quite effective this week. That one's hit over the offside. Tobias Visay has smashed that one all the way for 6. Really good batting from him. He opens out, inside out over extra cover so well. I'm not a happy man beside me. I've got Trent Johnson with me, the Hong Kong head coach. This is impressive striking, though, from Tobias Visay.
He's certainly taken his opportunity. He sort of hits the ball, likes to go leg side of it, stay leg side of it, and hit it over the offside, and then when he gets a little bit full, he pulls out the ram shot, obviously with an experienced campaigner and roll-off out there with him.
Quicker, huge appeal. Given not out, almost a double appeal. Trent Johnson manages to not appeal in the box next to me. That one looked very adjacent. We're going to take a look at the replay. It was the quicker one, flatter. Tobias Visay looking for the slog sweep. We'll bring the replay up on your screen now in just 1 second. Here it is. That looked awfully adjacent to me, Trent, and I know you won't be biased. Perhaps disappointed not to get that one go your way. Superb fielding. Outstanding from Kinchit Shah. One-handed at extra cover. Leading the way, the skipper. Your thoughts on that, LBW?
Yeah, I think obviously with the glasses on looking into that dark computer, I couldn't. It may have hit him outside the line. I'll play on the other side. I won't be too biased. I might tell you something off air. But listen, he brings a lot of energy to the team, Ehsan Khan. He's good knowledge of the game. And he's a fighter. He's the Hong Kong John Mooney.
I was wondering how long it would take to get a shout out for John Boy in the commentary. Of course, John Mooney, the former Irish international who performed the fielding coach role with Afghanistan, had that surreal experience of the game that I'm sure you watched, the straight shootout for a World Cup place where Afghanistan beat Ireland, and I think he was an emotional wreck after that. Afghanistan winning out there in Harare to break Irish hearts. Hit down the ground powerfully again. That's going to, I think, thud straight into the rope. We'll have to wait for the umpire's decision. He's going to signal that 6. Hits the rope on the full and correctly signaled 6. Tobias Visay, such a dangerous player, and what Roelof van der Merwe is doing so well is just giving him the strike. And Trent Johnson, you must be sick of the sight of big hitting openers this week.
Yeah, I think that's he's obviously taking his chance here. He's playing the role that he wants to play, staying leg side and hitting over the offside, and then we sort of bowl.
Big appeal from Ehsan Khan and given as a wide. So for the second time in this over, he hasn't got his way with the umpire, and he can't quite believe that one's a wide. He felt that clip to the back of the pad, but it's going to be given not just as 1 run, but 2 runs to the total with them running through for a single.
Yeah, it certainly looked like, or sounded like it clipped something on the way through, but obviously the umpire's closer to us.
Yeah, good comeback from Ehsan Khan, just pulling back his length, but van der Merwe is content to just rotate the strike, and that gets us to the halfway stage of the innings. Netherlands 96 for 1, apologies. At the halfway point, I've got Trent Johnson, the Hong Kong head coach, the former Irish international, former New South Wales head coach as well. How have you found that transition from obviously what I would imagine is a highly professional setup within Cricket New South Wales, based out of the SCG, moving back to the associate landscape, which I suppose you spent a lot of your playing career in?
Yeah, it's been interesting. I obviously had 18 months out of coaching in between New South Wales and taking over a Hong Kong job. So I moved down to Melbourne and did some private coaching down there, a bit of coaching in a private school at Melbourne Grammar, and worked out at a Premier League side called Greenvale Kangaroos. So still kept my hand in there. But yeah, certainly coming from New South Wales, where everything's sort of put on for you, and you know, the quality of player you have there, facility and those sorts of things are different to what we have in Hong Kong. But like I said earlier on, I can't question the guys' work ethic. It's been very good, and they know that the facilities they have, and they work around them. So it's about me being able to adjust to that and adjust to a life in Hong Kong, which is an interesting place to live at this particular time, Andrew.
Yeah, and we can confirm the reports that Trent Johnson has nothing to do with any of the current unrest in Hong Kong, but he's taken over this head coach role about 5 weeks ago, and what a time to do so, coming into the T20 World Cup qualifier. We've got the Cricket World Cup Challenge League to look forward to as well, where there'll be 15 matches over the course of the next 2 years. Change in bowling, and as Trent Johnson says in the background, really well fielded at backward point by Shahid Wasif. The change in bowling brings in Rag Kapoor into the attack for the first time. A young man, tell us a little bit about him.
Yeah, currently doing his studies at Loughborough University, and obviously grew up in Hong Kong, and as he comes in here to bowl his little medium places.
Almost half a chance. Rolla van der Merwe powers that straight to mid-off, direct hit, huge appeal. Almost the most remarkable of things, a double direct hit.
Oh dear.
And unfortunately, with the deflection off the stumps, they will get back for a single, but that single will only count if this run out is not out. Really well fielded at mid-off. We've spoken about Trent Johnson making those improvements in the Hong Kong fielding. We could see it there. He almost had a double direct hit because the ball almost deflected onto the second set of stumps where he nearly would have been run out the wicketkeeper's end, and it nearly hit the helmet, but the end result is I get through for a single.
Yeah, certainly can't question our ability to hit the stumps. That's probably about the sixth or seventh direct hit over the last 4 games. So we're giving ourselves an opportunity to get that free wicket, as we talk about in T20 cricket, which is most important. But Shahid's anticipation of ball before, which probably stopped one, gave us that opportunity to put pressure on and hopefully break this partnership and hopefully get into something like we saw yesterday with the Dutch, where we could get 2 or 3 quick wickets.
Yeah, we're waiting for the third umpire's decision. That third umpire is Rahul Asher. So Vinod Babu and Hari Krishna are using the technology that's available here at the Oman Cricket Academy set up with those fixed cameras, and they'll be examining whether or not Tobias Fasay is going to be run out, whether or not there'll be a single. Do you think it's a matter of time, Trent, before we see that it's actually just given as a dead ball after the ball hits the stumps? We saw the scenes in the Cricket World Cup final with England being perhaps a little fortunate.
Yeah, well, I'd say out of all those things, Lenny, I don't get involved in the rule making or the law making, but yeah, it's interesting. It's certainly it's a fast paced game, and that's what we're here to do. But I think these we might have a wicket, boys.
And they do indeed have a wicket. And Tobias Fasay cannot quite believe it, because the replays have been analysed by the third umpire, Rahul Asher, and I think Trent Johnson's deserved that one. He's been very good to come and join us in the box. We're going to bring you the replay from our view. It was an outstanding piece of fielding from...
It might have been Kinchit Shah, might have been the skipper.
It was Kinchit Shah with the direct hit, and as you can see there, Tobias Fasay...
It's out, Lenny.
Well, it's definitely out. Tobias Fasay perhaps guilty of having his bat in the air.
Schoolboy. Now, listen, it's been an outstanding knock from him, and it's unlucky for him to be dismissed in that way. But a great piece of fielding from the skipper again. Like I said, we've continued to hit stumps throughout these last 4 games, which is quite pleasing, and something that we'll speak about later on tonight. So hopefully, the Netherlands can continue their run of batting ways and potentially lose 2 or 3 quick ones and get us back into this game.
Yeah, an outstanding knock from Tobias Fasay, 68 from 43 deliveries, in fact. And just getting a message from Tim Cutler in the background, the former Hong Kong CEO, he reckons that LBW was out done for Tobias Visay. So perhaps Hong Kong finally getting a little bit of fortune they deserved, and their fielding has been outstanding, and it has been led by their captain. I just wonder, actually, was that... Yeah, I think it was Waka's Barkat affecting the direct hit from mid-off. So really good stuff from Hong Kong. The second wicket falls, and that is going to be signalled wide down the leg side. I think it's Colin Ackerman, the new man to the crease. He's going to be at the non-strikers end, the Dutch number 4, who's come into the side for the first time, playing his county cricket in Leicestershire. Is that something you feel that Hong Kong miss out on a little bit? You look at Scotland and the Netherlands with access to English domestic cricket, a lot of their players playing there. What opportunities are there for Hong Kong cricketers outside of the domestic stuff in Hong Kong?
Yeah, I think that recent history, we would be sending guys over to play, English cricket and, to Australia or New Zealand to improve their games. We have a few of our younger guys, playing out here today who will be schooling in Christchurch and playing cricket out there. We have 2 other young guys that are currently out there at the same school. So we're trying to, I suppose, take advantage of those things. Also, looking at, potential players that were born in Hong Kong. You look back at the way Ireland turned things around to a certain degree when he identified a few particular areas that he wanted to strengthen. And, I certainly, speaking with Mark Farmer, our high performance manager, and trying to identify players to fill those areas and just bring in just to strengthen our depth a little bit. So they could be looking for, club cricketers in Australia or New Zealand or England that were born in, Hong Kong. And, you look at the handover back to China back in, I think that was 90, was it 07? 07 that was, or 97, I can't remember.
1997, yeah.
97. Guys that would have been born around that time now would be, 20, 21 years of age. So that would be the sort of player we're targeting. Sam Hain, who's had an outstanding season with English county team Warwickshire, Hong Kong born. But I think the problem we have with Sam is that he played 19s for Australia, and he obviously wants to play cricket for England. So if he plays for another country in Hong Kong, I think that sort of rules him out of playing for England. So I can totally understand that from his point of view. But there's got to be other guys out there that, potentially have the passport or, have spent time in Hong Kong before that we could utilise.
Yeah, we see the Dutch side utilise that so well. Quite a few of their players keep qualifying through Dutch parentage or Dutch ancestry. And I suppose with 2 T20 World Cups in the next, the chance to go